A lot has changed since August 14, 2009, when Governor Gordon Wetherell suspended parts of the TCI Constitution and declared British rule until 2011. On this mandate of change, many residents, especially in the civil service, were nervous about rumored job cuts and salary cutbacks. However, then Chief Executive Martin Stanley assured the public from our studios that those fears could be rested.
I don't have any kind of major changes like that in mind, I have to say. I think that the truth is there are many areas where I think public servants are probably underpaid, frankly. Certainly areas where they're understaffed, and we have to build and support those areas and those people.
However, yesterday during an exclusive interview, President Chief Executive Mark Cape said that the restructuring exercise being carried out is being done primarily as a cost-effective measure.
Well, I don't know that what you've heard is absolutely right. What we are doing is trying to get to a point where the public service is an affordable public service within the scope of our budget. We're looking at initially, and I think Martin Stanley would have said this, we're looking at focusing our efforts immediately on the frontline departments involved in bringing in revenue to government. We're looking at ways to make that more efficient, more effective, and again that goes partly in hand with what we were saying about this revenue study which starts this week, in looking at creating a system of revenue controls that are more easy to manage and more predictable. So there's a lot of good work being done in the public service, but obviously we've got to try and get to a point where the public service is an efficient and effective public service that we can afford to run.
Switching gears, our senior journalist David Hines asked the governor about what he has heard from his London bosses in terms of the pending June 2010 general election, where the Conservative Party, led by Dave Cameron, is expected to make a strong challenge to the current ruling Labour Party, led by Prime Minister Gordon Brown. Governor Gordon Wetherell admitted that anything is possible with a change of government and could be asked to leave the TCI if a new government sees fit.
Well, I think that's a lot of speculation about what might happen, and I think like other members of the public service or diplomatic service in Britain, obviously, we serve at the pleasure of the government. Now, it's I mean we have a tradition of an apolitical public service, which on the whole, tends to remain where it is, whichever government is in power. But having said that, obviously I can't speak for what a new government or even a re-elected Labour government might do after elections.
In relation to the recent statement issued by Special Prosecutor Helen Garlick, which essentially asked for more time and suggested that there may be more matters worth investigating outside of what was revealed in the Commission of Inquiry, the governor asked for patience.
I think by their nature, these aren't necessarily very quick and rapid operations. I mean, there is a significant work of investigation to be done, and on the basis of that, she'll have to come to some conclusions as to whether to prosecute and who to prosecute and so on.
For WIV4 News, I'm Takara Bain.